Quest Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of The Midnight Bakery by Emma Davies, narrated by Caroline Fantozzi. 1. Frankie. Frances let the door of the bakery close slowly behind her, leaning against it for a moment to breathe in the warm, familiar smell. It was welcoming, redolent of childhood afternoons spent baking with her mother, rich, buttery pastry and the heavenly scent of bread fresh from the oven, like coming home, or, at least, the kind of home Frances dreamed of. The kind of home she had, once. With her back to the door, she could already feel her shoulders relaxing. She was safe. Turning, she relocked the door and moved swiftly through the shop, past the counter and the rows of shelves behind, which, come morning, would be filled with bread and pastries ready for sale, and onward, towards a door at the back. The bustle of the shop in daylight, filled with people and conversations, was not for her, but through here was her sanctuary, the beating heart of the bakery. She slipped through the door and took off her coat, hanging it on a peg before swapping it for her apron which she had hung there the night before. The room was dark and still, silent save for the hum of refrigerators. She could just make out the large metal work table which almost spanned the width of the room, and the huge mixing machines illumined by glimmers of moonlight which fell through a window at the rear. But she could walk the room as confidently as if it was lit by the brightest of beams. She knew it as well as she knew the pattern of freckles across her nose. It was only when she was ready for the night of work ahead of her that she flicked a switch on the wall, watching as the overhead lights blinked slowly into life. By 2:30 in the morning, Frances had been at the bakery for over 3 hours and, despite the time, wasn't even halfway through her shift. She had moved on from making the first batches of bread, those which took the longest, and was now mixing up the paste which filled the cinnamon buns she was working on. Even after all this time, she couldn't get enough of its sweet scent, and the thought of it mixed with butter oozing from between the layers of rich dough was enough to make her mouth water, and her stomach rumble. With a quick check of the clock, she smiled. She was bang on schedule. Time ran differently at night, and Frances liked the calm, slow passage of hours, the rhythmic nature of her tasks allowing her mind to slip its gears and freewheel. It was amazing the things which tumbled into her head when this happened, and her name was just one of the things.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?